What if I tell you that there's a new role in town that is in crazy demand right now, pays an amazing salary, and doesn't need any must-have qualifications to apply for? Yes, we are talking about the role of a product manager. But who's a product manager? What do they do? Can you become a product manager even without any experience? I'm sure you have all of these questions and more when you clicked on this video. And our guests today, Jackie Bavaro and Sugandh Rakha, are the two most qualified folks to answer them for you. Jackie Bavaro is the co-author of Cracking the PM Interview and Cracking the PM Career. She has been in product management for more than 15 years and has worked as a PM at Microsoft, Google, and Asana.
Thank you so much for having me here on the Urban Fight. I really appreciate getting a chance to talk to you and your community.
And Sugandh Rakha shifted his career from a dev role at Amazon and Microsoft to becoming a product manager at ServiceNow.
Hi, thanks for having me.
With the help of these two experts, in today's video, we are going to understand what does a product manager do and the minimum eligibility criteria to become one. Skills required to become a PM. How to prepare for a PM interview. Salary to expect for a product management role in USA and in India. And towards the end, I'll give you a bonus tip that'll help you switch your career, whether it is from a tester to a developer or from a developer to a product manager. And as always, if you like our work, smash that like button because it motivates us to make more videos. Let's begin. A product manager is considered to be like a mini CEO of a product, which means they need to be involved in everything, right from the big picture to the tiniest of details. Let's ask Jackie how she would define a PM role.
Sometimes people say it's like the captain of the ship or a mini CEO. But I think the best way to describe a product manager is that they are a member of the core feature team and they work alongside a designer and engineers to ship great products.
But the problem is, a product manager has no direct authority over a team. Instead of authority, they need to use their credibility to lead a team. And there are no minimum qualifications to apply for this role. Jackie has a BA in economics and Sugandh has a BTech in computer science, and they are worlds apart. So what qualifications are companies looking for in a product manager?
So you don't need an MBA to become a product manager, and you don't need a computer science degree. Depending on the company, some companies do prefer PMs who have gone to business school, and some prefer PMs with a technical background. But because the PM's role is really filling in the white space, it's doing whatever the team needs to be done. And different companies, depending on who the other roles are, who the other people you'd work with are, have different needs, and that means that different companies like to hire different kinds of people.
That's great news, isn't it? Because it means that no matter your qualification, you can still apply to become a product manager. Now let's see how to acquire those skills that companies look for in a PM. Let's first ask Jackie how she categorizes the skills that companies look for in a product manager.
The way that I group the skills in my book is product skills, execution skills, strategic skills, and leadership skills. When you talk about product skills, I really talk about these are the skills that it takes to design and ship a great product. So this is like customer insight, data insight. Then you've got execution to keep your team running successfully so that you can ship, a good bug-free product on time. Then I've got strategic skills. So this is how do you set a long-term vision of where you want to get to and come up with a plan of how you're going to get to there.
To sum it up, through your skills, companies want to find out if you can make decisions that are good for the user, for the business, and of course for the technical team that's building it, so that the product gets delivered on time. So if you're a student, here are a few things you can do to increase your chances of becoming a product manager. Take on a leadership role. For example, start some college club, be a part of an entrepreneurship cell, lead a sports team, or even pick some role in organizing the upcoming college fest. Start a side project. When you have a mobile app or a website or some service of your own, it tells the recruiter that you've had some exposure to product design and customer focus. Intern as a PM or even a software engineer, because there is nothing like learning on the job. And the best thing to do is to start some small company with your college friends to solve a problem that is bothering you. Best case scenario, that company will do great and you won't need another job. And in worst case, the company will tank, but you will have some interesting product management stories to share with your interviewer. Moving to experienced professionals. If you're already working as a developer or a designer, then here's what you can do to increase your chances of shifting to a product management role. Create a spectacular profile first, listing everything you've done, be it on LinkedIn or a personal website that showcases your personal projects. Consider working for a startup where you'll get to don many hats, including that of a PM. Start networking. Try to meet people who are already doing what you want to do, either offline through meetup events or, considering the pandemic, e-meet people and follow them on Twitter, especially product managers like Jackie and Sugandh. And finally, the easiest way to become a product manager is to look for an internal transfer. Let's ask Sugandh how he managed to shift from a technical role to a PM role.
So when moving from a technical role to a product management role, knowing how to build stuff is very, very helpful. But here are 3 additional things you need to do on the job. Number 1, talk to the customer, the product manager or the sales team to understand about the target audience of your product. Number 2, volunteer to handle some customer calls. This will help you build some customer empathy. Number 3, go check your old performance reviews for any leadership or communication concerns and take steps to address those concerns. In my case, I also kept on filing patents for the work I was doing. This helped my resume stand out.
So it doesn't matter if you're currently into engineering, design or marketing. You can shift to a product manager role as long as you get some hands-on experience to acquire those PM skills. Now comment below and tell me what is that first thing you're going to do to gain that PM experience. Is it redesigning some app, applying to a startup or networking with product managers on Twitter? I'll be waiting to read your comments. Different companies have different interview processes, be it Google, Apple or a startup. Even though the special focuses of each of these companies might differ, most of them will ask you a combination of technical, product and behavioral questions. Product related questions can be like, how would you redesign Twitter? Or design an alarm clock for the blind. The purpose of these questions is for them to know how good you are at understanding what the user wants. Some companies might also ask you some basic coding questions related to stacks, queues, linked lists, and how to compute their space and time complexity. But every company will ask you behavioral questions. So let's ask Jackie how to prepare for them.
I recommend creating a few key stories. So think about like 5 things in your career that you're really proud of, 5 things that really show off your skills as a PM. So you're able to either, answer a behavioral, like tell me about a time when question with one of these stories, or chit chat at the beginning of the interview and just be like, oh, did you see this cool side project I did? This gives you a chance to put the interview more, to let yourself shine in the interview. Most companies are going to score you on like no hire, hire, or strong hire. So you need to get to strong, you need to get at least some people to be giving you a strong hire. And those stories that you can tell that are really the things where you shine are a lot of what's going to help you make from a hire to a strong hire, to really show off that like you are a person who knows what you're doing.
Now let's find out from Sugandh how his PM interview experience was.
So while I was moving from a developer role to a product manager role, my questions were around 3 different areas. Number 1 was around like system architecture and system design, what things I built in the past. The second area was basically around like what kind of customer handling I have done, and I told them that I have had handled customer escalation calls. This is the issues we faced, and this is how we resolved them. The third part was basically where they wanted to understand how have I used data to understand customer needs. For this, I actually opened the YouTube analytics of the Urban Fight and show them how using data we were able to take this channel from 10,000 subscribers to 1 million subscribers. Coincidentally, the book I used to prepare for my interviews was Cracking the PM Interview by Jackie Bavaro.
You can find out more about how to prepare for the PM interview and how to crack the PM career through these 2 books that have been co-authored by Jackie. And I cannot stress enough how brilliant they are. I've left their Amazon links in the description. Make sure you check them out. The salary for a product manager varies depending on your experience level, whether you're in a well-established company or a startup, or even the location of your company. But here's a rough estimate.
For freshers, for the role of a product manager, you can get a salary between 12 lakhs per annum to 18 lakhs per annum. And in the US, you can get a salary from $80,000 per annum to $120,000 per annum. And if you have 5 years of relevant experience, in India, you can expect a salary between 15 lakhs per annum to 35 lakhs per annum. And in the US, you can expect a salary of 100,000 US dollars to 150,000 US dollars.
Before I give you the bonus tip, allow me to remind you, in case you still haven't, then please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Urban Fight, and hit that bell icon because we make career, finance, and communication videos regularly. If you walk into your office and pay attention, you will notice that everybody has more work on their hands than they can handle. All of us are overworked. And to switch your career, that's the opportunity you need to exploit. Just go to their desk and offer to take some of their burden away. If you're a tester and want to become a developer, solve a bug that the dev team is facing. If you're a developer and want to get into sales, offer to help your manager with a sales PPT. So today's bonus tip is this: not just dress, but actually work for the job you want. Remember, companies want to hire and retain good people. And if you go above and beyond your job to solve a problem, then they'll happily give you that switch. And if not, you'll at least get some experience that you can walk away with to some other company. Now you go and solve those problems that you'll be proud to talk about in your next interview. And if you need help with that, then check out our website, skillopro.com, where we help you answer the 14 most asked behavioral questions with sample answers through our interview preparation course. I have left the link to our website in the description. I am Sugandh. This is The Urban Fight, and I'll see you in the next video.